The first time Ethan Carter saw his own face on a missing persons poster, he thought it was a joke. The second time he saw it, he realized someone wanted him to find it. And by the third time, he understood something far more terrifying. The photograph had been taken 18 years before he was born. Rain hammered against the train windows as Ethan Carter stared into the darkness outside. The journey back to Ravenwood felt longer than usual. Perhaps because he hadn't returned home in nearly 2 years. Or perhaps because of the phone call. His mother rarely sounded afraid. But earlier that morning, her voice had been trembling. "Ethan, I think you should come home." "What happened?" A long silence. Then she whispered, "I found something in your father's attic." Those words had followed him throughout the entire journey. His father had died 7 years ago. A sudden heart attack. At least that was what everyone believed. Since then, the attic had remained untouched. Locked. Forgotten. Until now. Lightning flashed across the sky. For a brief moment, Ethan saw the outline of Ravenwood through the rain. The town looked exactly as he remembered. Old stone buildings. Narrow streets. Dark forests surrounding everything like giant walls. A place where secrets seemed older than the people living there. The train slowed. Moments later it stopped. The station was nearly empty. Only a few passengers stepped onto the platform. A cold wind immediately struck Ethan's face. Something about the air felt strange. Heavy. Almost waiting. He grabbed his bag and walked toward the exit. The town appeared frozen in time. Nothing had changed. Not the bakery. Not the church. Not the ancient clock tower standing at the center of town. The only thing that had changed was him. Or so he thought. 20 minutes later he reached the family house. The lights were on. His mother opened the door before he could knock. She hugged him immediately. Too tightly. As though she was afraid he might disappear. "Ethan." He smiled. "It's good to see you too." But she didn't smile back. And that frightened him. Because his mother always smiled. Always. Without saying another word, she led him inside. The living room looked normal. The kitchen looked normal. Everything looked normal. Yet something felt wrong. A strange tension filled the house. Finally Ethan spoke. "What did you find?" His mother looked toward the staircase. "The attic." He frowned. "What about it?" "I'll show you." Together they climbed the stairs. The attic door stood open. That alone felt unnatural. As a child, Ethan had never seen it unlocked. The room smelled of dust and old wood. Boxes lined the walls. Ancient furniture sat beneath white sheets. Memories surrounded him. Then his mother pointed toward a small wooden table. There. A single photograph rested beneath the light. Ethan picked it up. At first he didn't understand why she looked so disturbed. Then his heart stopped. The photograph showed a teenage boy. Around 17 years old. Dark hair. Gray eyes. Sharp jawline. The resemblance was impossible. The boy looked exactly like him. Not similar. Not close. Exactly. Ethan felt cold. "What is this?" His mother shook her head. "I don't know." "Who is he?" "I was hoping you could tell me." Ethan stared at the photograph. Every detail matched. Even the small scar above the left eyebrow. The same scar Ethan had possessed since childhood. His hands began to shake. "This doesn't make sense." His mother nodded slowly. "There's something else." She handed him the back of the photograph. Written in faded black ink were 4 words. Subject each 17. And beneath them, November 14, 1986. Ethan froze. He had been born in 2004. 18 years later. The room suddenly felt smaller. Harder to breathe in. "This has to be fake." His mother looked away. "I thought so too." "Where did you find it?" "It was hidden inside your father's desk." Ethan stared at her. "My father's desk?" "Locked inside a secret compartment." Lightning illuminated the attic. For a moment the entire room flashed white. Then darkness returned. Neither of them spoke. Both understood the same thing. His father had hidden this photograph for a reason. The question was why. And what was subject E17? That night Ethan couldn't sleep. The photograph sat on the desk beside him. Every few minutes he looked at it again. Searching for some difference. Some proof that the boy wasn't him. But there was none. At 2:17 a.m., he finally gave up trying. He opened his laptop. If the date was real, there had to be records. Newspapers. Articles. Anything. He typed, "Ravenwood Missing Boy 1986. Hundreds of results appeared. Most irrelevant. Then one headline caught his attention. His pulse quickened. The article had been archived decades ago. The title read, "Local Teen Disappears Without a Trace." Ethan opened it immediately. The article was short. A 17-year-old boy named Daniel Hale had vanished under mysterious circumstances. Police found no evidence. No suspects. No body. The case remained unsolved. Attached beneath the article was a black and white photograph. Ethan nearly dropped the laptop. It was the same face. The same boy. The same person from the attic photograph. The room became silent. Painfully silent. He checked the date again. 1986, impossible. Completely impossible. Yet the evidence sat directly in front of him. Someone who looked exactly like Ethan Carter had existed nearly 2 decades before Ethan was born. And then disappeared. Without a trace. A loud sound suddenly came from downstairs. Thump. Ethan jumped. His heart raced. The sound came again. Thump. Thump. He looked toward the bedroom door. The house should have been asleep. Slowly he stood. Another noise echoed below. A floorboard creaking. Someone was moving downstairs. Ethan grabbed a flashlight. Every instinct told him not to leave the room. But curiosity won. He stepped into the hallway. Darkness surrounded him. The old house groaned beneath the storm outside. He carefully descended the stairs. The beam of light swept across the living room. Nothing. Kitchen. Nothing. Dining room. Nothing. Then he noticed something strange. The back door stood open. Rain blew inside. Cold air filled the house. Ethan approached cautiously. Had someone entered? Or left? He shined the flashlight outside. The yard was empty. At least it appeared empty. Then lightning struck. For less than a second the entire backyard illuminated. And Ethan saw someone standing near the tree line. Watching the house. A tall figure. Motionless. The flash vanished. Darkness returned. The figure disappeared. Ethan ran outside. Rain soaked him instantly. He reached the trees. Nothing. No footprints. No movement. No sound except the storm. The figure was gone. Yet deep inside, Ethan knew what he had seen. Someone had been there. Watching him. Waiting. And somehow, he felt connected to whatever secret the photograph had uncovered. A secret buried for decades. A secret his father had died protecting. A secret that was only beginning to reveal itself. Far beyond the forest, hidden in the darkness, another pair of eyes watched Ethan Carter. And somewhere beneath Ravenwood, an old tape recorder suddenly clicked to life. A distorted voice echoed through an abandoned underground room. A voice that had remained silent for 40 years. It spoke only one sentence. Subject E17 has been located. Then the recording ended. And the darkness became silent once again.